We should be live. Let me go ahead and check. It says we're live, but are we? That's the big question. Yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. Alright, hello everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. I'm joined today with returning guest Alpharius.
Howdy.
Howdy, Alpharius. And today we are back with some more Star Wars: The High Republic. Shadows of Starlight. So this is issue number 3. Yeah, I assume you've seen how issues 1 and 2 have gone.
Wasn't really able to catch him due to time constraints the last few times, but I'll give him a look.
Well, these have all so far been written by Charles Soule, who, at the very beginning, I was kind of hopeful for, because he's the same guy that wrote The Blade, after all, right?
Mm.
Unfortunately, he is starting to give Daniel Jose Older a run for his money with the writing in these comics.
What?
Where do I even start? So the very first issue was a character assassination of Yoda.
Okay, we're starting off strong.
Yeah, apparently the Jedi Order, it's the way apparently the Jedi philosophy is if members of the Jedi Order, such as the Jedi Masters, for example, who are on the council, are stuck behind enemy lines and may potentially need rescuing, it's the will of the Force that they were left behind enemy lines, and therefore there is no need to rescue them whatsoever.
That's not Yoda. That's Ki-Adi-Mundi. That's... What's it? What?
Also, if one of your space stations gets destroyed and has crashed onto a planet's surface, and there may potentially, by some miracle, be survivors, it is the way of the Jedi Order to recall all the Jedi that are actively engaging in a rescue operation for any survivors, and, taking them away from the rescue operation.
Whatever. That's fine. That's just... that is dumb.
We also learned that apparently it turns out that according to Yoda, you should just not worry about old guys who happen to be well attuned to the Force because they're unarmed. Kind of like how Emperor Palpatine, or Senator Palpatine, was unarmed when he used Force Lightning to electrocute Mace Windu.
Yeah, he sure made sure plenty of other people were unarmed in that room right after him, too.
And that was all just from the first issue.
So when you have access to psychic powers, I don't think there is such a thing as being unarmed. You are the weapon.
Yeah. He even promptly demonstrates this, by the way, the old guy who happens to be a dark side user that Yoda trusts for reasons. The guy promptly demonstrates that he is not actually unarmed by immediately disarming a Jedi, taking his lightsaber, and Yoda has to lightsaber duel him briefly, before then immediately going back to trying to help the guy.
What? You're joking, right?
I wish I was joking.
So yeah, that is some grade A character assassination right there. Not only does he believe stuff that he would absolutely not believe, he's now an idiot who does no pattern recognition.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame how old age just ruins people.
Yeah. So then we get on to the second issue. And the good news is it's not dealing with Yoda so much. The bad news is the writing has not improved at all in the second issue. Like, there's a bit where one of the Jedi Masters decides to try to jump to light speed inside the storm wall. You know, that super weapon the Nile have created that you can't actually travel through or send communications to. Oh, by the way, when they set it up so that nobody could travel through it or send communications through it, the Nile then immediately sent a communication right through it, telling the Jedi that they had in fact done this.
Out of all the ways you could have wrote that. That's grade A special.
So this one Jedi Master decides to then try to create a device that the first of its kind in 1,000 years. Fails after one attempt and then gives up in trying to even bother. Because Jedi willpower. Then a droid ends up fixing it properly for him a second try, but then decides to wait until he's trying to jump to light speed inside the storm wall to actually pull the thing out, saying, hey, you can now communicate through the storm wall so you don't have to be here in the first place. The droid could have presented it to it at any time, but decided to only do it when he's inside the storm wall, you know.
That's... Huh.
Oh, and this is right after the droid, by the way, took the Jedi's lightsaber to destroy the controls to the ship, so they can't even travel to so they can't even travel anymore, really. So they're stranded there. In an area where they might not even be able to communicate to let people know they need help, for one. And two, even if they could potentially communicate with people, they now have, well, since they're inside the storm wall, they now have to wait that little bit extra longer with the hope that people can arrive to help in time before, they run out of food or something.
Okay.
So that's the level of writing that we have been subjected to for the past 2 issues.
Huh.
And like I said, so yeah, the Charles Soule with this series is really giving Daniel Jose Older a run for his money. There is still a chance Daniel Jose Older might pull out ahead because of the one issue we got so far of the new High Republic Adventure series, because that one is god-awful as well, but...
It's gonna be a race to the bottom, that's for sure.
Yeah. Roro says, quick resume, Alpha. You're in for the pain glove of Dorn.
No! Let's see if I can make this pain glove stop working too. God.
So let's let the pain commence proper. Star Wars The High Republic, Shadows of Starlight. Centuries before the Clone Wars or the Empire, during the glorious era of the High Republic, the Jedi were at their height. The galaxy was at peace until dangerous marauders known as the Nihil caused the great disaster. Their attack on the Jedi and the Republic reached its peak with the destruction of Starlight Beacon, a space station meant to symbolize hope and unity. Now the Jedi have been recalled to Coruscant, fearful of the Nihil, and of the monstrous creatures they possess. The will of the Force. Alright. Iram, 5 days after the fall of Starlight Beacon. Alright, you want to voice Elzar, or should I?
Which one is which?
Elzar's the dude, and Belle's the girl.
Which one's which?
Yeah, I know. Okay. The one with dreadlocks is Belle, and the one with the beard is Elzar.
I'll voice Elzar then.
Alright. That means you're up right now.
Oh. Oh, did I skip a page?
Yeah, it's on page 4.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see it.
That's okay.
It's time to go home, Belle.
Home? Where's that, Elzar? Master Greatsworm used to say that for the Jedi, home was people. The relationships we build with others give us more than any one place ever could. That's how I feel when we were stationed at Elforna Outpost. Me, Loden, Porter Engel, and Indira Stokes, even Ember. They were home. Okay, why does Belle have the jawline of an absolute Giga Chad?
It's minimum! We're supposed to take this seriously! How?
This art works.
I can't tell which one is a man.
Batman from the
like dudes.
Batman from the animated series is humbled by that fucking jawline.
Yes, he really is.
Mr. Brickface himself cannot compete.
It's some. We got a runner-up. We got a serious Habsburg jawline here.
The Qin Dynasty is at it again. Now, Loden's dead, Porter went off somewhere and took Ember with him, and Indira's in the hospital, maybe dying, after one of those Nile creatures attacked her. It would be easier if Buryaga were here. He feels like home too, but he's still missing.
Missing?
Also, what is up? Hold on a second, but what is up with this artwork being so radically different from the earlier issues? Because Elzar looks completely different from issues 1 and 2. So, to highlight this, let's go to issue 2. Page...
Holy
page
crap!
8. Page 8.
They really did change the artwork. What the heck?
He doesn't even look like... He does not look remotely the same.
That's not... What?
Even if you look at later bits in the issue where it's supposed to be months later and he grows a beard, he still looks kind of like he does at the earlier part of issue 2, but compare this to issue 3, it does not look like the same character at all.
What? No. No, it doesn't. Who? Huh. Yeah,
I'm going to make the
like...
joke here because, my God, does it look like it? Is it just me, or does it look like they unironically race-swapped him? He went from a Latino in issue 2 to Asian in issue 3.
Yeah. You know...
Disney has managed to race swap their same character from issue to issue.
He was Alpharius all along. Oh, God.
We're reaching levels of Netflix adaptation that should not be possible.
Oh.
Presumably, the next issue, he's going to look like Belle.
He's just gonna be an alien. He's just gonna be an alien.
You know that one animated thing on that one meme on YouTube where they took the Steam Hammed meme and had it animated by different animators every few seconds?
That's what this is like.
No, that was still more artistically consistent because you could still recognize the characters from artist to artist.
This here is what great communication between teams looks like. This right here.
I am impressed by the level of incompetence on display. We're not even talking about the writing right now. We're talking about the artwork.
Like, this is some legendarily terrible art.
Yeah.
I gotta give him props for it. Heck, the art's probably some of the best looking it's been in this series.
Aura says,
But
in the
dear
future...
God.
Aura says, in the future, not only gender, but race is a social construct. Use the Force to be... See, that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing. That's not actually the future. That's something that these activists actively believe now.
Yes, but they'll only try to... But it'll only be mainstream in the future.
But what they fail to realize is that by trying to say that that's just a social construct and doesn't really exist. Here's the thing about trying to pull that like they've been doing. If you're going to sit there and say that race is a social construct and therefore doesn't really exist, by extension, you are inherently arguing that racism doesn't exist because it's also just a social construct at that point.
It's... Listen, hypocrisy doesn't exist to those people. That's the key part.
Mm-hmm.
Can't try and point out any hypocrisy in their arguments because they just don't care.
Well, you can, but the point you point them out is not because of whether or not they'll care. It's because everyone else will immediately notice that, realize just the level of doublethink that they're on, and realize, oh, these guys are complete morons. That's why I do it all the time.
Well, fair enough at that point.
Alright. Like, there's actually a really similar-ish situation I've had, where... Here's a good example for you, although this is a bit on a tangent here, but I might as well get through this. So, you know how I point out a lot of times to leftists about how, historically speaking, National Socialism was a form of socialism because of all of the socialist policies that they had put in place in Germany at the time, right?
Quite.
So, the typical far-left argument to try to counter that is, but don't you see, Hitler killed socialists, therefore he's not a socialist. Here's where it gets really, really funny about that. If your argument is that Hitler can't be a socialist because he killed socialists, then A, the fact that he killed other Nazis means that according to the same activists, Hitler wasn't real Nazi, and therefore his Nazism wasn't real Nazism. For one thing, which is...
Oh, God. Sorry.
But the second thing is that Hitler's critique of communism was that communism was capitalist, i.e. it wasn't real communism, basically. And if you're going to argue that Hitler killing socialists prevents him from being a socialist, then you have to, by extension, argue that the communists, every single communist regime in history, killing socialists and communists, means that they weren't communists as well. In other words, everyone that says that Hitler wasn't a socialist because he killed socialists is inadvertently arguing that Hitler was right about communism.
No, but you see, that's different because shut up, bigot.
And that's why whenever they try making that argument, I just point, okay, but you're trying to argue that you think Hitler was right about communism. And then they immediately flip out.
Oh, mercy.
Ura says Hitler agrees real communism hasn't been tried. If that isn't an endorsement for not trying communism, I don't know what is.
You ask the right white woman, and you'll find that's a startling. It's a very fine endorsement. Especially now that they're talking about Israel.
Yeah, funny how that works. Now they're trying to frame genocide or attempts at genocide as decolonization.
Back to the comic, shall we?
Yes, before I get completely removed off of YouTube altogether for, pointing out the things that YouTube moderators think. Anyways.
Well, we've discussed this. I was with Buryaga when he fell. He saved my life. He was fighting Rafta as a Starlight beacon fell apart around him. He didn't even have his lightsaber. It's important to hold out hope, but it's important to live in reality too.
But how do you know, Elzar? Did you actually see Burry die?
No, you're right. I didn't.
If it were Avar Chris, you'd keep looking, am I right? What is with Elzar's face on that image?
Something ain't right.
It looks like they gave him a frown face. A little bit. I know it's because of the beard, but this is what happens when you decide not to put actual, detail in your artwork. It starts to look silly. No, I'll tell you exactly what it looks like. You know how they depict Canadians in South Park? With the jaw that detaches all the way?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Alright. Well, I heard she left too, just like Porter Engel and Stellan Gios died up in Starlight. Guess you don't have a home either.
Well, that's not very...
I know, I'm sorry. It's awful all around. So you'll answer the Jedi Council's recall and look for some kind of home back on Coruscant. I'll look for it here. Buryaga would search for me if I were missing. I have to stay. I won't call you out for your own choices, and I hope you'll do me the same courtesy. I know I'm just a Padawan, but all Jedi walk their own path.
So they do. Very well, Bill. I'll inform the council of your decision. Good luck.
I don't really think that a Padawan is really authorized to ignore an order from the Jedi Council that all Jedi, Padawans included, return to Coruscant.
Yeah! Huh. Something ain't right. Chain of command, chain of command. I mean, good people have never been organized, right?
Wait, there's one more thing. You have Burry's lightsaber, right? Can I have it? I want to be the one to give it back to him.
Sure. Well, sure.
Thank you, Elzar. He's here. I know it. One way or another. I'm going to find him. The Maw of Shireen. 6 weeks after the fall of Starlight Beacon. You want to voice this character?
Sure. Well, sink me sideways. But actually made it back up. Get the crane going. Haul him in.
Ura says, but as a Padawan, you should obey your superiors because this is a militaristic monastic order. There are still fucking ranks and a duty. It is bullshit in this comic, true, but you know it. But you know. Yeah, I know. It would be like mouthing off to your drill sergeant in basic.
Yeah.
And refusing not to go back to your barracks after you've been told specifically to go back to your barracks.
That is,
Not only would you get the smoking session of your life, all your buddies would be getting one too, and then afterwards at night, you would be getting the absolute tar knocked out of you by all your buddies for mouthing off.
Yeah, that is a special decision on a whole nother level. It's a special decision.
Oro says also that lightsaber is bullshit. Fuck whoever decided that lightsabers have to be ornate pieces of fucking art. Remember the crafters in the other comic? Yes, I do.
God.
Siege says I'm with yeah. They had to say that plain. Yeah, they had to say. Yeah, they had to say in one of the. I'm going to go back to the first issue for reference because just to highlight this. But in the first issue, they also showed here's how to make a regular lightsaber, and they're complaining about making a regular inornate lightsaber. Pages 9 and 10 of the very first issue.
Alrighty.
Also, another thing that's BS that they added into the very first issue. Apparently, you have little miniature lightsabers that can somehow work as well.
What?
As in toothpick-sized lightsabers.
Huh? Why were these never used before?
I know!
When was this made?
I know!
What?
I know!
What? Huh? Is this ever going to be relevant again? Most likely not.
Yeah. I have to wonder if I actually mentioned that this is BS as well in the shorts videos that I've been making out of these. Because I've been making a lot of shorts out of the levels of BS that have been coming out of Shadows of Starlight here. But, yeah. So...
This is some top quality crap.
And someone actually suggested maybe at least these really fancy lightsabers, maybe the handguards are meant to protect the user from, lightsaber strikes. If that were the case, then they wouldn't be trimming the things with that little miniature tweezer lightsaber.
Huh.
I'm just saying.
No, you got a point. You're right.
Ours says Alpharius.exe has stopped working and wishes to never work again with this comic. We're half an hour in and only 7 pages into this. My God.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, let's get this through as quick and over as possible.
Help me, Lord, in my time of need. Welcome back, Belle. I'm guessing this must be Buyaga.
Good guess, Nelly. Wait, is Belle actually... Belle is a dude!
Shit! Is he... I don't know! He has a beard!
I honestly could not tell from the earlier...
What is going on? Fucking Jesus.
You seriously cannot tell if that was a dude before or not. We're making fun of this character for having a Giga Chad face. Despite also looking a bit like a chick. But it turns out Belle was a dude all along.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Either that or they gender swapped this character in the same issue. Don't put it past them. Look what they did to Elzar.
I guess this one might just be on us this whole time.
Turns out it was a chick all along. Was it a chick all along?
Dude looks like a lady.
Oro says, oh my God. A square jaw person is not a she-man, but a man, the biology of it all. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You can never tell in this day and age.
Yeah.
Disney could be trying to argue that this, in fact, is still a bearded lady. So we will have to see. Sorry. Good guess, Nelly. I'm giving this character the same voice anyways, just to...
It's funnier that way.
Speech is laughing. What a wild ride of a comic. I know.
Truths have been discovered, unearthed. That which was never meant to be known by man.
To see how... Oh, right. That's your character, I think.
To see how Bell rescued Burry. Read all the Jedi walk their own path in the Tales of Light and Life anthology.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They're plugging their own comics in their comics.
He's confirmed to have rescued another character off screen that we have to find out elsewhere.
Talking about it.
Yes. And then this only confirms the fact that yes, there were in fact Jedi still alive and stranded on Starlight Beacon when the Jedi Council ordered them all to recall back to Coruscant. If this Padawan had not disobeyed that order and disregarded what the Council had to say, then Burry would be dead right now.
That is some actual stuff that could shake the foundation of the Order, that level of incompetence.
Yes!
That is... I really hope they just don't let this act like this is just nothing special and actually... No, we know they won't do that. Even though that would actually be a kind of cool idea.
I mean, at least at the very beginning, at least in the very first issue, you could argue that maybe there weren't any survivors. That surely no one could have survived a space station crashing into a planet.
Yeah.
Except now we know 100% that there were survivors. And that the Jedi Order just abandoned them.
I mean, that is some actually scandalous crap.
Yes! Aurora says, this comic is telling me to read another comic that is likely as bad or worse. Let me tell you, I will sooner deep throat a chainsaw. Siege says, pulling me out of whatever story you are telling is a big mistake. Interrupting my flow, and I may never come back to it, lol. Speaking of which, we need to get back to it before we spend all day on this one single issue.
And by the way, with Eros' size, he could probably manage.
Alright, let's go ahead and continue the pain.
I'll voice the red guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm gonna need to get a net and a new catch. I've never seen a Wookiee anywhere near this skinny. How many Wookiees have you seen, George? I've seen plenty, Nelly. Plenty. Huh? You get that? No. Don't speak Shriwook.
Buryaga's grateful. So am I. You let me travel with you for weeks while I was searching for him. Taught me your craft. I couldn't have found him without you.
Of course, Belle. You're a good hand. We're all happy to help. You found your friend. What will you do now?
Now, we go back to Coruscant. Captain Okoro, the Nile, brought down Starlight Beacon, and that's just the start. They've brought more darkness to the galaxy than you'll ever know. It's time for them to pay.
Alright, so you found exactly one person, and instead of searching Starlight Beacon more thoroughly to make sure there aren't more survivors, because you know you already found one, you're now going to abandon the Starlight Beacon and go back to Coruscant.
Face! That face!
The Wookiee face?
Yeah.
That is a pretty weird face to give to a Wookiee.
Sorry.
That's the face of, I can't believe they drew me like this in this fucking god-awful comic.
That is the face of I don't give a shit anymore. Those eyes say it all.
Oro says the Twi'lek is called George. Fuck you. Yeah!
Huh?
Yeah, that's the other thing. They mentioned the Twi'lek is called George.
I don't get it.
Not a Twi'lek. Also, most of the Twi'leks tend to be chicks that we've seen. And I think this character looks... I can't really tell, to be honest, because this is Disney.
Yeah, there's no shading to his clothes at all, really. At least not his shirt. There is not a shape. It is just a black spot.
Mm-hmm.
Next page.
Steve says to Oros, exactly. The pickings are so slim at the moment. Wookiee's sick of your shit. Oros says, Ace, you don't understand. He is a Jedi. He does whatever the fuck he wants, and he apparently only does the right thing to find his gay bear. And yes, I bet my ass they are gay, and the joke is accurate.
Of course, Eros would be the one to make things.
Well, technically, this guy is still a Padawan, so he can't do whatever the fuck he wants, for one thing.
Nah, bro, he built different.
Coruscant, the Jedi Temple, 2 months after the fall of the Starlight.
Characters. Oh, that's yours. Oh, both these are yours. Sorry.
Back to the temple. Guess we'll be here for a while, Buryaga. I wonder what they'll make us do. We're both still Padawans, so we can't really choose our own duties. It's so wild that the council locked down the entire order. The Nihil are just out there, hiding behind the storm wall, and we're here doing nothing. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, huh?
Also, what the hell is that face? They gave him the derp eyes.
They traced over the surprised shack. That is what that is. That absolutely has to be what it is. It is. I'm sending this image to you. I compare them.
That one I do see, but look what they did to the Wookiee's face as well. Look at the eyes.
Oh.
They're not pointing the same direction. Alright, let me see this image. Yeah, they did that.
They had
Which, okay. Now we get to go back into issue 1 again for a thing, because something else they did that you reminded me of. Or no, it was issue 2. So, I'm going to go back to issue 2, because you need to see this as well, since they are clearly referencing memes at this point. Page 7, issue 2. The top left image. See if it looks like a meme to you by chance.
Page 7. Also, looking at that last comic, this character is absolutely a girl.
Last comic?
The last issue, the issue number 1, it looks like.
Well, this is issue number 2 I was telling you about. Page 7.
Yeah.
We're on issue 3.
Page number 7, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep!
Yep.
But, alright, so I'm going to go back to issue 1 just to see how they drew this character, that one character in issue 1, because you did mention it. I'm not sure which one is supposed to be... I'm not seeing her.
Belle.
I'm not
Apologies,
seeing... It could be a different
might-
character.
Could be. Might be. Maybe I'm just going crazy at this point. I don't know.
We could be.
It's all blending together in my head now.
Mm-hmm. Aurora says we can choose our own duties. Fuck you. You chose to disobey orders. You did whatever the fuck you wanted to do. What bullshit is this? Yes. Yeah, we can't really choose our own duties, but I could ignore direct order from the Jedi Temple to return back to Coruscant immediately. Yeah, good catch on that, Urus. And yeah, I am clearly going to be very, very busy making shorts videos out of this. I'm probably going to be set for the rest of the fucking year making shorts out of just how god-awful High Republic is because of this.
I
am and the thing is, you want to know what the real punchline is? I've went out of my way to because all of these are still okay. So I went out of my way to list claim that it's game footage from Star Wars Eclipse. You know, the upcoming High Republic themed Star Wars video game. That way, when the moment that game drops and people try looking it up, they're going to be flooded with nothing but just how god-awful the High Republic setting is. They're going to have probably hundreds of shorts of nothing but me tearing through the High Republic comics.
Excellent. Oh, we need to get back to it.
Yes, we do. It's so wild that the council locked down the entire order. The Nihil are out there, hiding behind that storm wall, and we're doing nothing. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, oh, wow. Ember!
That's not the face you make when you see your pet dog. Or at least a space dog.
Alright, you wanna... Yeah.
Hey, Bill, BYRNE, I'm so glad to see you both.
Master Stokes! Wait, so the fiery-looking dog is named Ember, and the Jedi Master is Master Stokes.
Anyways.
Disney? Why?
Make bad word puns, and they're not even the funny ones.
How are you feeling, Indira? And how do you have Ember? I left him with Porter Ingle back on Iram.
Yep. And then Porter gave her to me in the hospital before he left for Nihil space. Said he thought I needed her more than he did. He wasn't wrong. Ember is a very good girl.
Woof.
As for me, I'm feeling alright. The healers are working to counteract the nameless effect, but I'm still nowhere near where I was. Let's talk about happier things. I know you were refused elevation before. That won't fly now that the Council has instituted the Guardian protocols. Anyone who's ready to move up a rank has to move up a rank. That goes for you too, BYRNE. This is just another way of saying you both better brush up on your vows. Oh. By the right of the Council, by the will of the Force, knights, you may rise.
Aurora says, oh, look, disabled person. Mark it in the checklist. You must cross everything before the last comic or you can't call bingo.
Disabled black, probably lesbian woman.
Race swapped character from... Yeah, also race swapped character as opposed compared to what he looked like in the previous issue. Alright, now let's carry on.
For light and the light, for life and the light.
Wait, wasn't it before for light and life?
Got their own main
They got it backwards!
They don't care. They don't care. They have to. That's it. That has to be it. They just don't. They don't care. Is that? Hi.
They can't even get the. They can't even get the battle cry right anymore. Siege says, vows, holy shit, these words mean nothing. Oro says, oh yes, the Guardian Protocols. Good excuse to not shaft the guy that decided to stay behind to save his teddy bear. Also promotion. You remember those old cliche police movies? Want them back? 0 F's given.
Can you believe it? Nights at last. And now I feel like I've earned it. I actually want it. Easy, buddy. I'm happy too. What? This is good, Buryaga. It's all good. Jedi Knights get much more freedom, even with the protocols and the recall in effect. I can work on whatever I want to. That's good. I've got a lot of work to do.
You ignored the recall, though. The very first fucking page. To go help save your buddy here, admittedly, which I will say technically is the correct call. And it was really a case of the Jedi Order fucking up. But still, you didn't actually have the authority to do that in the first place.
I guess maybe they just told the order off screen and they permitted it retroactively. I don't know.
Or it says, wow, they butcher their own shit. I know that, but holy fuck, their own war cry, too, after years doing it. As a writer, this doesn't hurt anymore. I am becoming numb.
Also, it looks like the Wookiee's having trouble keeping it in his pants.
4 months, alright. 4 months after the fall.
Huh? You don't need to keep checking up on me, Burry. This is a perfectly reasonable thing to be doing. We didn't even know who Marchion Ro was until he revealed himself as the true leader of the Nihil. I'm pulling together as much information as I can about the Jedi's greatest enemy. He's behind everything that's happened to us, which means he's the one who killed Loden Greatstorm. He killed Nibathsek. By the light, Buryaga, this man killed both our masters. You shouldn't be asking me why I'm doing it. Here's the real question. Why aren't you doing it with me? If you have a better suggestion about how I should be spending my time, I'm all ears. Uh-huh.
Okay, I know this Wookiee is a Jedi Knight, but still, who the hell would be bold enough to do this? To say this to a Jedi, or to a Wookiee, of all things. We know how, I mean, remember episode 4, where Wookiees have been known to pull people's arms out of their sockets because they lost at a game of chess. Back talking to him like this? Siege says, no, don't do it with him.
No!
Yeah, that's a phrasing, alright.
You need to edit together a compilation of all this homoerotic subtext that we definitely aren't pulling out of our asses.
Speaking of which,
Look, you need to relax. If I need you, I know you're here. I told you, I'm good. 5 months after the fall. Thank you for bringing Belle's oh, right, that's a different character. Thank you for Oh, you want to voice this character, actually, since I'm still the Wookiee here?
Thank you for bringing Belle's challenges to my attention, Bayaga. In a way, I find it unsurprising. Many of the Jedi are finding it difficult to remain at the temple during the crisis. You're trained to protect the light everywhere. Staying in one place is troubling. It feels almost like an abdication of responsibility. That said, the Council's decision to recall the order was correct. We must maintain our resources and our strength while we formulate our counterstrike. The Nihil seem very capable of picking us off one by one. Staying here prevents that. We are making progress, of course. Grandmaster Yoda has a plan in place. He has been working with an expert on the Nameless and promises results soon. We will prevail.
Yeah, about that.
Okay, so the justification and exposition panel, I see.
Also, you want to know what the results were? Since
what?
we already know what the results are because the very first issue showed the results, which happened about a month after this bit here. They blew up an entire city Yoda ended up being indirectly responsible for a city being blown up because the expert was the dark side user we were talking about earlier, who decided to use a Jedi mind trick on a member of a crew for a ship and cause that person on a mind trick to just crash the ship straight into the fucking planet with the city on it. All of which Yoda basically allowed to happen was right there when the guy did the Jedi mind trick and suspected absolutely nothing. Basically what I'm saying is this is a curb your results moment.
I see.
Oro says, one speech bubble in which I thought someone grew a brain. Then he pulls it out of his head, brings out a laser saber pistol, and unloads it on the brain. Makes as much sense.
I shall continue.
Yeah, also, him saying the Council's decision to recall the order was correct. He's saying this to a person, mind you, that had the order been followed by Bell, Buryaga here would not be alive. This Jedi Master is saying, yeah, our decision that would have gotten you killed that had been accurately followed was the correct decision. You should have died.
The fact you're standing right here right now makes me absolutely livid, but I'm going to express it in the most passive-aggressive way possible. But I shall continue.
Wait. We have some comments here. I'm going to read. Siege says, they can pick us off one by one. Let's all corner together in the same place because it's impossible that our enemy is smart or capable of changing tactics. Yeah, you know, the exact same people, the exact same people who destroyed Starlight fucking Beacon. Now, granted, this was the same Starlight Beacon that the Jedi Order was brilliant enough to place the reactor completely exposed on the outside, on the underside, where there are absolutely zero defenses whatsoever. The point still stands, though, that the Nihil were still able to destroy the entirety of Starlight Beacon. They, in fact, did it from the inside, if I remember correctly, by setting a bomb on the inside. And you don't think they aren't capable of just attacking the temple in a similar manner?
Temple's a solid structure. It has foundations.
Maybe, but it's not exactly impenetrable.
That's what I mean. They plant bombs in the right spots, which in the Coruscant underworld, I'd imagine it's hard to track anybody. Funny things will occur.
Yes, very funny.
Ura says uses the Death Star from the future to destroy all the Jedi in this universe. Yeah.
I shall continue.
Mm-hmm.
Bail Zeshifar requires a task. That is all. Something he will not consider busy work.
Alright, so we've officially established that was in fact a dude. That was not a woman with a beard. Good to know.
Alright. He must put his energy toward a goal that he also considers in line with the needs of the Force. I believe I have just the thing. A joint Jedi Republic task force is being assembled. A fast response team to be stationed near the borders of the Nihil occlusion zone. The Nihil are sending raiders from beyond their storm wall to plunder the planets of the Outer Rim. They believe they can act with impunity. We will show them the error of their ways. I will bring Bell with me. You are welcome as well, Briaga, should you choose to come. As I said, Briaga, it is your choice. You are a knight now. I have heard that you are spending your time very constructively helping the younglings deal with their fears during the crisis. Your counsel is valuable to them, especially because you have been through an ordeal of your own. You have much to teach them about life and the light. I am sure Bell will do just fine on his own.
6 months after the fall. What's the matter? Well, yeah, I might as well voice this character. What's the matter, Buryaga? You seem sad. Isn't doing these drawings supposed to make us happy? I mean, who are you drawing? I see, your friend Bell. But why'd you make him look so mad?
I have no words.
Thank you for assisting... Sorry.
Thank you for assisting me to join this mission, Grandmaster Vader. It wasn't easy for me to just sit here to not with the Nihil out there doing whatever they want.
You are welcome. Addition, Bell. You are a welcome addition, Bell. But please do try to remember that we are not traveling with the task force in a martial capacity. We leave that to Admiral Kronara and his forces.
Okay, one moment. We're not leaving in a martial capacity.
With a government task force.
What was it he said 2 pages ago? A joint Jedi Republic task force is being assembled. A fast response team stationed near the borders. Nihil sending out raiders. They believe they can act. We will show them the error of their ways. It's not a martial force. But it's just a mobile strike force. Not a martial.
Are you going to talk them into seeing the error of their ways?
We're going to do philosophical debates on the internet with them.
Oh, God.
Where we can block them after they say something that is even remotely making us look stupid.
Happens, I guess.
Anyways.
Our role is to help in other ways, to solve the problems in the Jedi manner. We must remind the galaxy that we have not abandoned them.
Okay, but what has the Jedi manner been up to this point in the High Republic?
Stabby, stabby, slashy, slashy, for light and life.
For light and life, as they cut down swaths of people. We're all on a bad day, as we say to a guy that is actively burning the face off of a civilian with the Force.
We all have a bad day.
Of course, Grandmaster. I wouldn't have it any other... Burry! I didn't know you were on this mission.
Nor did I.
Oh, you know, new mission, new rank. Thought I'd try out a new look, too. Something more focused. This is great, Buryaga. I'm so glad you're coming along. Makes me happy.
Wait. Are they implying he made Master?
No, there's no way.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that they did not make him a Jedi Master.
I would.
After what, a month?
Solitary confinement does things to people.
Aura says the Jedi way has been, as shown in the issue 1 of this alternative universe, to endanger worlds for training purposes. Yes! That is also part of the Jedi way. To send a discount Tyranid hive fleet to people just to see if one of your Padawans can save an entire planet. 9 months after the fall, Republic Defense Coalition Emissary Class Cruiser Third Horizon.
That's a mouthful. Should I voice this guy?
Yeah, go ahead.
We've gotten a report of an Nihil raider attack at a settlement here, on the Fernin. We'll take the ship to the area, see if we can find the enemy squadron, assuming that they haven't already fled back to the occlusion zone like the rats they are. In the meantime, Grandmaster Vetter, we were hoping you and your fellow Jedi could head to the planet with a squad of our aid teams to help whoever you can. Of course, we would be most pleased.
Respectfully, Admiral, wouldn't we be more of a use out here? Jedi can be very effective at ship clearing. Buryaga is a hell of a pilot, too. Put him in a Vector and those Nihil won't stand a chance.
I have good pilots too, Master Zephyr.
Oh no! He is a Jedi Master!
Oh my god! How to speedrun character development from Padawan to Master in one issue. Just don't show it.
Okay, so he went from, what, 2 months, 3 months, he was a Padawan to a full-on Master in, what, 3 months?
After disobeying orders, at that.
After disobeying orders as a Padawan. Maybe there was a major scandal, and that's how he made Master. The Jedi Order realized they fucked up so hard that they went,
They just paid off.
Don't tell anyone just how badly we fucked up. We'll make you Master. You'll be on the council, you'll be the rank of Master, the whole shebang.
Everything is making so much more sense when you put it like that.
I hate the fact that I can actually establish this lore better than the official Disney hired writer did. And all I have to do is sit here and just think about it for 2 seconds. And come up with better fucking I can actually come up with explanations now for some of the shitty writing. Why did he make Jedi Master? Well, it's because the Jedi Order fucked up and they bribed him, basically, with the promotion. In this depiction of the Jedi Order, that could actually...
That's not out of character.
Yeah, it would not actually be out of character. Let me read some of the comments here. Aura says, well, they are throwing out promotions, so Siege says he looks like Obama. The face keeps changing along with this guy's rank. Aura says, okay, time to go for the race.
Actually, I think Siege is right. What happened to his jawline?
Yeah, he lost it. That is true.
That's Alpharius.
He went from a Giga Chat as a Padawan to an absolute beta as a Master. How the fuck do you do that?
How many different people illustrated this?
Siege says he became a Master and we got to look at his gay Wookiee lovers' drawings of him. Aura says this whole comic stream has turned into a comedy at the expense of Disney. Will make more of an impact than any official any 1 hour of modern Disney.
I shall get back to my character. But I have good pilots too, Master Zephyr. But odds are we won't even find the Nihil. Between their path engines and the storm wall,
We are finding it hard to get ahead of them. We'll devise some workable strategies, but at the moment we mostly just get to react. If we stay on the ship, we might do good, Jedi Zetafar. If we go on the planet, we know we will. The choice, of course, is clear.
Esturden. Thank you for coming to help us, Master Jedi. Maybe a little late, all things considered, but help is help. Imagine getting chastised by the guy that you've come to save, like that.
I am deeply compassionate to the suffering of your people, Mayor. This should not have happened, and if the Jedi could have prevented it, we would have. We are doing everything we can to stop the Nihil attacks at the source. It is only a matter of...
Holy hell, pull out the cards.
What'd you see? You really think it's one of them?
Keep going, keep going. There! I knew I'd seen him before. That Jedi down there's Tre Viter. He's on the council.
Not just that. He's a Grandmaster.
Captain Shrike was right. The Jedi couldn't resist something like this. So noble and all that. Call the cacophony. Tell them to get back here.
Damn right I will. You got a bounty on a Grandmaster? We're gonna be rich!
Also, those faces. The one on the left looks like he's just 2 seconds away from drool pouring out of his mouth. The one on the right looks like he's doing his damnedest to hold in the biggest and smelliest fart of all time. Kathum! Our ship! What just happened? Oh, great. That's a Nihil storm ship. Heavy artillery. Shh.
Protect the townspeople!
What the? They say this happens to 1 in every 4 Jedi Masters.
Yeah, say if it happens for 6 hours or more, call your doctor.
Also, anyone else reminded of that one joke from the Family Guy rendition of Star Wars? With Obi-Wan's lightsaber?
Oh, God. I wish it's... Oh, we must keep going.
Yes! Yes, we do. Alright, who wants to voice this character, me or you?
You might as well.
Pratrivetter. Big as life, isn't that something?
Just so you know, Captain Shriek, the 47 lightsaber nullifier is a gigantic power drain. If we keep it going for long, we'll fall right out of the sky.
Yes, but the Jedi don't know that. Get down there, bring me my prize. But alive, especially the Grand Master. Markion Ro and the General like to play with their toys. We're coming for you, Grandmaster! We're on our way!
Oh, both of you, round up the townspeople and get to the backup rendezvous point. Call for the third horizon to send a pickup. They're clearly after me. I can distract them for long enough for you to get away. Then I'll find my way back to Coruscant.
But what if they have one of those creatures?
Well, as you grow within the Order, you will begin to understand how little value there is in what if. Focus on what is.
Okay, that's
a phrase.
But
oh my god.
Okay, so
And that kind of thinking hasn't led to the Jedi Order in exactly this situation in the first place, though? Like, hey, what do you know? What about if they have one of those creatures? Well, we don't know that, so we're just going to assume they don't. Don't focus
That's
on the
what
what
wise
if,
people
focus
do.
on what if.
It's not about why, it's about why not. Oh my god, he's going Mace Windu on him.
Let me, first, before we continue, let me read some of the comments. Ura says, I'm deeply compassionate, doesn't rhyme with, we will do everything we can to cower back home. Seed says, is that city on fire? Yeah, it's on fire. Ura says, you have collectibles with Jedi faces on them, and use them to hunt Jedi. This is unironically Disney. Yeah. Siege says, playing card bounties on Jedi like they did for Taliban in Iraq. Yeah, I remember that. I actually had one of those packs, now that you mention it. Uru says, difficulties turning your lightsaber online. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. Siege says, they have medication for that. The what now? Uru says, the bullshit plot device, Siege, the bullshit plot device. Yeah, lightsaber nullifier. Yeah, that just came out of the ether because apparently, well, keep in mind.
And don't worry, it's going to be the only one of its kind.
You know, just like the Storm Wall was the only one of its kind. Siege says they're just pulling shit out of their asses and throwing it at the wall at this point. They've been doing that for a while now, Ura says. Yep. Alright, let's see if one of these creatures happens to be here and this guy gets a case of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Ugh.
How about you make it this easy on all of us, Jedi? You don't have your lightsaber. You can't fight us. Just surrender so no one gets hurt.
I do not have my saber. That does not mean I cannot fight. I have trained, you see, in an ancient art of unarmed force combat. Witness, my friends, the power of Shunju.
Insert the fist of the North Star at the time.
Nani?
Tell those morons to stop firing. I need him alive. Setting border repulsion system to 1/4 power on 3, 2, 1.
Wham. So they slammed him into the dirt with a border repulsion system. But they needed him alive.
A pile of red juice is a question to me, but okay.
Also, if you are that buried into the ground from the impact,
Your internal organs are a red juice.
yes. But they wanted him alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, I'd say his skin would be at that point, too.
Yeah.
Don't you move a muscle.
Oh, sorry.
Don't you move a muscle, Jedi. You move, you die.
I couldn't move if I tried. And yet all I sense from you poor people is fear.
Then you're sensing wrong, Grandmaster. All you should be getting from me is pure, gorgeous joy at all the money you're going to make me.
A bit of advice then, if I were you. I would focus less on the Jedi you did capture and begin worrying immediately about all the ones you didn't.
To be concluded in the Shadows of Starlight number 4. And that is hopefully going to be the very final issue of this series, which means that the pain and suffering can finally come to an end from at least this line. Next month, the final glimpse of the last year of the High Republic is revealed.
Oh, God. I swear to God, if the leader of the Nihil turns out to be that one kid from like the beginning of the comics or something. Actually, whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm pretty sure it's not him, though. I think we've gotten a face reveal from this guy before, and he is not him.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. It turns out it was in fact Master Yoda's old lover who started the entire order out of spite. Oh, that's not even out of the realm of possibility.
Actually, we can get a backstory on Markion Ro as a character. It's from the Eye of the Storm series, which I think actually it might just be one issue, maybe two. I think it's 2 issues, and Charles Soule wrote that as well.
Oh.
The thing is, the first half of the first issue is actually worth reading. But basically, Markion Ro is just from a civilization that achieved peak and cap.
Really?
Pretty much.
Well, alright then. I'm rooting for this guy. Well, I have been, but still, I'm rooting for him even harder now.
I mean, if you saw his speech, the one that he gave through the storm wall, immediately after telling people that you can't receive communications through the storm wall, the speech that he gave, let me remind myself what it said exactly real quick, but he made himself sound incredibly based. Like, what was it? Let me read it to you. Well, basically he said that you can basically do whatever the hell you want. Everyone's free in Nihil space.
He's based, Captain.
Yeah.
That's
right.
pretty
Siege says, question mark, alive but tenderized, they broke his hips. Says, fuck you, that is how this art is called, fuck you. We now need a martial art called that. There now needs to be an actual official form of martial arts just called fuck you.
Hey, if it works.
Siege, okay, so Siege says, alive but tenderized, they broke his hips. Ura says, yes, do remind them that there are more Jedi with the civilians so that they may shoot at the escapees from their ship. Yeah, because Nihil have never, ever been known to shoot at civilians before. Except,
Right.
Yeah. Ura says, yeah, the leader is the only survivor from a previous species that is more backstabbing than the Dark Eldar. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, thoughts on this particular issue?
Well, I found the rough scene of gay Wookiee sex very shocking and sudden, but, you know. I guess that's not too out of place here.
Sadly, no, it isn't.
We joke. We joke about it. I'm just waiting until it becomes a reality.
I'm waiting until they put it in High Republic Adventures. You know, the one comic book series that they've
kids.
tried to defend as a kids comic. I've actually seen people try to make that argument on here to try to defend some of the stuff from High Republic Adventures. It's a kids comic. It's therefore allowed to be as shitty as possible. Is their argument?
Kids deserve so much better than this.
Ura says, thoughts, comic is short, laugh is long, ridicule is eternal. It was
Amen.
24 pages, but my God, did those 24 pages get a long time to get through. We've been at it, right? We've been at it for 2 hours. Well, no, for an hour and a half, actually, basically. That's when you know the comic is god-awful. If it takes us anywhere past 45 minutes to get through a comic, that's usually a bad sign. If it takes us an hour, that means that it's probably atrocious. If it takes us an hour and a half like this one single issue, then God help us.
That's...
I'm basically... The good news is that I'm basically set for the rest of the year as far as my shorts content is concerned. I am probably seriously going to be continuing to make shorts out of this comic into early February.
Oh, God.
Because I still have the rest of issue 2 to make shorts on. I've got High Republic Adventures, and I've got regular High Republic to make shorts on. And then after that, yeah. And the fun part is, as soon as I'm done with this, I know for a fact I'm going to have more shorts out of later issues of some of the other comics. And I've also got one more issue of this series.
Oh, Lord, help.
And like I said, the ultimate payback is I'm labeling them all as Star Wars Eclipse under the game title. You know, the High Republic themed game they're making.
We will pay them back 10,000-fold of the suffering they brought
Imagine
upon
if I end up with 200 or so shorts just out of High Republic or something ridiculous like that by the time Eclipse shows up.
Oh, when is this happening?
I have no idea when Eclipse is going to be out. Probably late 2024, I think. And from the way it's looking, here's the thing. If I continue making shorts out of High Republic and labeling them all Star Wars Eclipse from here to then, if it takes a full year, that's 360 additional one of these shorts I'll have. Their release is just going to be completely screwed, at least as far as YouTube's concerned, because everyone is going to see the atrocity that is the High Republic, at least in the comics. Siege says, I had a great laugh, thank you. Ura says, the only money Disney is making is other people's money, because if you're making money monetized, which they try to bomb this, probably makes you some decent scratch. Here's the thing. Disney is actually, I think, getting so desperate that they have an official channel on YouTube dedicated to showing off these comics now. In their full. There are so few people buying these comics that Disney is just flat out giving them away for free via this YouTube channel. Nobody is reading these comics. If they were, Disney would not be doing that. You know for a fact because it's Disney doing this. So, yeah. Is this the worst comic of all in Star Wars? Or of all?
No, but it's up there. I'd say this might be in the top 3, though.
As far as High Republic, yeah, as far as High Republic is concerned, these might, if we're talking about this series as a whole, Shadows of Starlight might actually be worse than the regular High Republic and High Republic Adventures. Because there's 3 issues of this, and so far, all 3 issues have been complete cancer, comparable to issue 1 of the original High Republic.
Oh. Oh god, especially that part where the Jedi Council did something that's nigh unforgivable.
Yeah.
And nearly just let somebody die.
Yeah. That's how they started off the very first issue of this. Then we confirmed the fact that, yes, they nearly killed people doing that stupid stuff. And then they have the balls to tell the person they nearly killed to his face, yeah, our decision to abandon you was the correct one.
I don't regret a damn thing. It's a shame you're not dead right now.
The only thing we had to do to make up for it was promote the guy that rescued you to Master, so...
So he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
No one will ever believe you.
Uru says, wow, this is beyond ridicule now. Siege says, that is a stunning admission of failure. Yeah, and you want to know what else? I don't even think that those videos that Disney is putting out on this official thing just to show all the High Republic comments, I don't even think those videos are getting very many views. I think Disney is legitimately struggling to give away this knowledge for free because of just how awful it is.
Oh, God.
The jokes really are writing themselves at this point. So, yeah. I will say this. I can't wait to get through issue 4 of this, because once I do, I know I will never have to touch another Shadows of Starlight comic book issue ever fucking again.
Oh, that would be nice.
So yeah, this might legitimately be the worst comic book series for the High Republic. Might. It's definitely in the top 3. I think it is, personally, top. I think it's actually topped High Republic and High Republic Adventures so far. But my god, is that a hard battle won. And let's be honest, Daniel Jose Older with the recent High Republic Adventures is doing everything he can to retain his title on that.
I guess so.
So I think we are going to get this pain done and over with, because like I said, we've been at it for an hour and a half. I think everyone wants to be done with this as quickly as possible. Is there anything else you wish to say, Alpharius?
I want to go home. Why is everyone here Alpharius? That's my job.
So yeah, I think that's a good sign to go ahead and call it. So yeah, Alpharius, it has been a pleasure to have you on, even under these circumstances.
Indeed. It's been a pleasure to be back.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. But until then, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care.